So in this segment, we're going to be talking about some Covidiots, as they've been dubbed by people, and we got like multiple different tiers of Covidiots, and so this should be quite fun to talk about. So we've got more than 100 people, 150 people arrested at an anti-lockdown protest in London. So these people, the more these people protest, go out not wearing masks, the more the coronavirus potentially spreads, and the longer we're in lockdown, and the more aggressive the tier, the lower we are in the tier list. You can go from a tier 1 to a tier 2 because you get idiots like this who go out and protest against the lockdown, which is designed to protect people. And yes, I know that there's not enough business support. I know there's not enough financial support, but at the same time, that's a choice made by the government, and so you can tell people to stay at home, but you got to give them stimulus, or you do no stimulus and no lockdown. Those are your two options really. You can't do half and half. You can't do certain tiers lockdown and some stimulus. You got to go whole hog. You got to give a lot of money to businesses and a lot of money to people in order to ensure that they're financially viable and stable. Rather than what this government's done, which is to not do enough and not help enough people. But anyways, like I said, let's talk about this. So more than 150 people have been arrested during an anti-lockdown protest in London's West End. The group Save Our Rights UK said it held the protest, which started from Marble Arch on Saturday afternoon. The Metropolitan Police said it had been a challenging day for its officers. It said it had made arrests for a number of different offences, including breaching coronavirus restrictions, assaulting a police officer, and illegal drugs. Like, what's going on? Some of these people coked out their brains. Police officers were booed, and met with chants of "Shame on you" as protesters, many not wearing face masks, ignored requests to leave. Earlier protesters, including some dressed as Christmas elves, brandished signs reading "All I want for Christmas is my freedom back." We are close to a vaccine being rolled out fully in this country, and these people just, that we are close to this ending. Hopefully by next year, things will go back to normal, BC before Corona. But these guys are just so stupid. These kind of guys talk about 2 world wars, 1 World Cup, and how much their grandparents sacrificed and all that stuff, but aren't willing to make a sacrifice themselves. It's just embarrassing. Groups of police officers were seen running towards protesters in Oxford Street, Circus, Canterbury Street, and Regent Street. Traffic was temporarily blocked as officers tried to handcuff people on the ground in the middle of the road. Sorry, my reading's just abysmal. Rights Group Liberty and Big Brother Watch have argued that the right to safely protest should be explicitly outlined as an exemption in regulations covering tiered restrictions. I mean, the thing is, right, I think the only way you can do a protest is if you get small groups of people, people that are, within their own households that protest kind of with masks on and are separated out. That's the only way you could do this. And so we've got more. We've got Nottingham Student Halls party broken up by police, so more Covidiots. A party of 200 people at a halls of residence was broken up by police. The gathering in the courtyard outside St. Peter's Court, Radford, which houses University of Nottingham students, stopped after midnight. Nottinghamshire police said the officers were unable to arrest anyone as the crowd dispersed when they arrived, but they are still investigating. So this is slightly different from the other one. As soon as the feds came, as soon as they had police coming, like with those American house parties, everyone's gone. Shortly after, police officers handed out £500 fines after responding to reports of a party in a field in Gonalston. And the thing is, the fine should be way higher because these people know what they're doing. They said that they were trying to find the organizer and the driver who crashed into a police car as they fled the scene. Like, Jesus Christ. At 10:30, police officers were called to a flat in Pilcher, in the city centre, where they were given £200 fines to 21 people. Shortly after 11:30, 2 people were arrested in Valley Road, Carlton, on suspicion of assaulting a police officer who had been at the scene of another illegal gathering. So you can see here we've got these people here, students, and we've got these people here, stupid protesters. Not calling protesters in general stupid, but these people are stupid. And our final one is Rita Ora. So this one's probably, I think this is the one I'm most annoyed about because I don't think she got fined. And the fact is, these celebrities are making a mockery of the rules that everyone should be following. Honestly. So Rita Ora said she was deeply sorry for breaking the lockdown rules to celebrate her 30th birthday. The singer, who attended a party at a restaurant in West London on Saturday, given the restrictions, I realised how irresponsible these actions were, and I take full responsibility. It's reported up to 30 people were at the party, although she describes the event as a small gathering. I mean, maybe for you because you're famous, but 30 people is a lot of people. She says it was a spur of the moment decision. I call BS on that. How are you gonna book a restaurant and get 30 people together in a lockdown? Okay then. London's Met Police confirmed officers went to the Casa Cruz restaurant after a report of a potential breach had been of COVID, potential breach of COVID regulations. Someone snitched. I'm deeply sorry for breaking the rules, and in turn understand that this puts people's lives at risk. I mean, I think you're only sorry that you got caught. To be honest, I genuinely think you're only sorry because you got caught. She says, I feel particularly embarrassed knowing firsthand how hard people have worked to combat this terrible illness and being fully aware of the sacrifice that people and businesses have made to help keep us safe. Even though this won't make it right, I want to sincerely apologise. Look, if I were you, Rita Ora, someone who's extremely rich, I would give a donation to some organisations fighting coronavirus here because what you've done is incredibly stupid, and you took pictures as well. Current lockdown regulations in England mean you can only meet one other person outside. Pubs and restaurants are currently closed, although they can serve non-alcoholic takeaways, and you shouldn't be with people from outside your house or support bubbles indoors. Police have the power to break up larger groups larger than 6, and those who ignore police officers can be fined. So far, the singer has not been fined. I mean, she should get hit. She should get hit with the maximum fine because A, she can afford it, and B, she knew what she was doing. Kensington and Chelsea Council, which is responsible for issuing COVID fines against businesses in the area, say it's still investigating what happened at the Casa Cruz. And if she doesn't get fined, it does show you that there is a two-tier system in this country, that her, a rich person who could easily afford it, was not fined. And if you look, I don't know if she takes pictures of the people, you can see this was obviously a planned event. How do you have a cake for the spur of the moment decision? Do you know how long it takes to bake and ice a cake? Honestly, it's ridiculous. And also, she's wearing a tinfoil outfit by the looks of things. And all these flowers, all these decorations, you can get this by the day. Oh, macaroons, they look quite good. Wish I had some of those. So yeah, this wraps up our segment of Covidiots. No doubt there'll be more people, but what we can see from here, we've got students, anti-lockdown protesters, or idiots as I would want to call them. And if there's anyone here with a business that's not being given the right amount of business support, there I'd feel a lot of sympathy for them. I'd get that. I'd understand. But if it's just general people, so I will go to the pub and drink with my mates Dave and Steve, then no sympathy. And the one I feel the least amount of sympathy is Rita Ora, and absolutely should get hit with a maximum fine because what she did was just shockingly bad. But anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.